This visual represents your entire life. Every experience you've ever had or will ever have is somewhere on this single page. Every row is 1 year and every square a week. The blank squares are the rest of your life. It seems like a lot until you realize a third of this will be spent sleeping, another quarter of it will be spent working, then there's school, marriage, retirement, all these other factors of life. When it's all said and done, what will we wish we had more of? So in this video, I'm going to show you new ways to visualize time as it applies to your life and show you how you can use that information to get more out of the rest of your life. Representing our lives in these rows and squares is a helpful way to slow down our brains and wrap our minds around how finite time really is. If life feels like it's accelerating as you age, you're not wrong, and there's really two things to blame here. The first is how our brain perceives time. Our brains estimate time using attention, body rhythms, and how much new information is being processed. Repetitive lives and distractions make time feel like it's going faster. When there's less novelty, the brain goes on autopilot to preserve energy. And the brain does this because it's very biologically expensive to maintain, so if it can rely on habits to get through the world, it will. The second thing is our brains. The second is our brains slow down in processing information overall. So together, these create a bottleneck where the brain has to decide, is this signal or is this noise? Which means it's bound to miss many things. It's like trying to use a cup to drink from the fire hose, except every year your cup gets smaller and smaller, and everything that doesn't make it into the cup just flows right by. But life doesn't wait, and time doesn't slow down, and we can't go back, so what do? First, we need a more brain-friendly way to understand time. And I don't mean months or days or years. Let's think back to that first visual. Why was that so effective? It's because we were able to represent time in another way we can more easily visualize, like our lives fitting in squares on this single page. And we can do that with really fun things. So let's do Leonardo DiCaprio movies. Our first step is to define a specific measurement, and we chose DiCaprio movies, which as of this video is 32 movies. For anything we choose as our measurement, we have to also apply a frequency as it relates to our lives. Of the 32 movies he's been in, I've seen 13 of them, and if I'm honest, I'm probably not going to go back to watch the rest of them, which means I watch about 41% of his movies. Now that we have a measurement and a frequency, we can scale it. If we assume Leo will live and act for another 30 years, and he stars in about one movie every 2 years, we get 15 future DiCaprio movies. And if I only see 41% of them, this means I'll see 6 more of his movies. Now, I chose this fun example because I love Leo, but also it's an easy way to start to warm up our brains. But if you remember at the top of the video, I asked, when it's all said and done, what are we gonna wish we had more of? This is where we can apply this to meaningful experiences, which I broke up into these 3 categories. The first is balanced. My favorite holiday is Halloween. I love scary movies, the costumes, and it's also right before my birthday. Since Halloween comes every year, the thing that I'm actually going to measure in this case is my own life expectancy, since that's going to be what the limiting factor is. I can look up census data to estimate what my life expectancy is for my demographics, which is 78. At 34, this means I've experienced less than half of the Halloweens I'll ever see. That's 44 more times of getting excited as I drive around and see neighbors put up decorations and carving pumpkins. 12 of these will fall on a weekend, which usually means a bigger celebration. So as someone who loves Halloween, this is actually pretty awesome. This first example is a type of balanced experience that's spread evenly across our lives. The second one is sporadic. Each year I try to take at least one trip with my friends, and this past year we went to Miami. The first night we went bar hopping and exploring Miami Beach until sunrise. This was the first time in at least 4 years that I stayed out from dusk until dawn. If I assume I keep partying until I'm 50, which is a bit of a stretch, I might have only 4 more nights like this until sunrise. And of course, this doesn't take into account new chapters starting in lives that can get in the way of this. So this may actually be only 1 to 2 more nights of staying out and bar hopping and finding a diner that's open at 3 a.m. that can hold us over until sunrise. This example is a type of sporadic experience that happens less frequently or less predictably throughout our lives. The last category, and arguably the hardest, is weighted. Like some of you, I moved away from my hometown during adulthood for lifestyle or career changes. So I only see my parents 4 times a year, including the holiday season. If I'm lucky, my parents will optimistically be in my life for at least another 15 years, which makes only 60 more times I get to experience my mom's cooking, or 5 more times I get to do random trips to Home Depot with my dad to work on a project. I know that these aren't guaranteed, they can always be less. So what am I getting at? When we pick and measure meaningful experiences and scale them to the rest of our lives, it's easier for our brains to grasp how many or how few of these experiences we have left. After sitting with these numbers, I thought, okay, cool, what do I even do with this information? Because change is already hard for me. First, let's talk about what not to do. When I first did this math, I could feel the urge to jump into the all or nothing pool where I would stay out every single night until sunrise, celebrate Halloween every single day, and live on FaceTime with my parents. But that's obviously insane. All or nothing just really doesn't work, at least for me. And I have years of my weight fluctuating and trying and failing to go to the gym because I would show up the first day and do an intense full body workout and be so sore the next day that I wouldn't go back for months. I know that if I really want to make a change and stick to it, I have to start small. Lasting change comes from small habits that compound over time. So I asked, 1. In these 3 categories, what do I want more of, and where can I make small adjustments that I can maintain? And 2, what do I do with the ones I can't change? For the first question, make success as easy as possible. Just 1 more. 1 more night out until sunrise a year, 1 more phone call a week to my parents, and 1 more visit a year. Sounds easy enough, right? Well, what about the ones I can't change? As much as I love Halloween, I can't make more of them. When you sit down to look at your own meaningful experiences, you'll also be faced with the same dilemma. What do we do with the experiences we can't make more of? We can change how we show up to them. By focusing more on being present, parts of your brain work to make those moments feel richer, last longer in your memory, and deepen your connection to the people around you, which makes you really appreciate the people who are also showing up, just like you did today. Measuring our lives in experiences and scaling them is a great way to show us how short this next part of our life is, so we can make more room for those experiences that we really care about. Now, it would be a disservice if I ended the video right here without sharing the 2 things that I noticed from sitting with this information and putting it into practice. The first is being present makes you very aware of the things you do and really don't want more of in your life. And over time, I got better at saying no to the things I don't want more of. Although life is complicated, you can't always say no to the things you want to. And the second thing is I started to reframe and look at the benefits. There are still so many meaningful life experiences that haven't even started. These meaningful experiences in the second part of life will never be as long as we want them to be. But if we use this information and make small changes, we can get more out of the rest of our lives. These are better inputs. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.